Hey, what's up, guys? So this is a little bit of a rant joined by my cat Papa over here. And yeah, so if you're into that kind of thing, that's what it is. And it's going to be talking about the 40 series and my opinion on why it's selling so bad and a lot of things all compiled into one. So to start off, I feel like I need to introduce myself, which I haven't done on my own YouTube channel. My name's Kyle, and I've been building computers to sell since 2012. I've been doing this long enough to see the ups and downs. I've been through the first mining boom where cards were not available anywhere, and it's been an interesting market, but I feel like I have a decent amount of time selling the stuff to kind of like know what is wrong. And right now we're in this dip, not only because the 40 series pricing and memory and all those things suck, but also people are just not as interested. And they're not as interested for a couple of reasons. There's an upswing. So the upswing of PCs purchased from 2020 to 2022 was insane. It was like every single week I would have somebody asking me for a computer. I couldn't hold stuff in stock in 2021. It was a great time to be a seller, but also a bad time because it was really hard to find hardware, and we were all there through the shortage, especially if you're watching this video. So I think that there are a number of factors here, and one of them is the true enthusiast is only going to go out and buy a certain model card. If you have the money, you're probably chasing a 4090. If you are more like price conscious and you don't like to spend stupid money, you might go after something like a 4070 Ti or maybe a 4080. It's just not, the 40 series just kind of sucks. There's really nothing else other than the 4090 that really makes sense. The 4080 is more powerful, and don't get me wrong, it's a crazy fast card, but it's just, everyone knows the price sucks, the price to performance is awful. So moving past that, then you have people who bought this, and this cost $600 to $800 during the shortage, and a lot of people got into it, and I feel like people went and bought all these parts. And not only maybe they had a kind of bad experience with that, or maybe they got a thrill out of chasing it. And now that the thrill's gone, they don't really care. But they built their PC, they did their thing, and now maybe they use it for light gaming, but they're not really out there to chase new hardware like the true enthusiast would. So you're kind of left with this gap between the high-end stuff and the mid-range stuff. And the mid-range 30 series stuff is just so decent that like there really isn't a reason to go out and buy something that might perform like a little bit of a better 30 series card. Like they already had that option to go buy those cards. So why would you, if you have a 3070, why would you go out and buy a 4070? It just doesn't make any sense. You get some extra RAM and there are some features and stuff, but there's like a reverse FOMO thing happening, and I'm kind of seeing this more and more online. When the Turing cards came out, people did bash them, but they didn't bash them the way the 40 series is getting bashed. It's like people are almost enjoying the aspect of it sucking, and it kind of leaves you in a spot where you don't really need to go out and spend money either, because everyone hates it, so it's easier to just be like, yeah, skip the 40 series. And like, don't get me wrong, they hate it for a good reason. It's not great. It's lacking performance. If you look at graphs like this one I'll throw up on the screen, you're seeing less performance per dollar generationally, less percentage performance per dollar generationally. So it makes it easy to make fun of. And then there isn't that FOMO of upgrading parts. Like if you've ever been in the car enthusiast world, when your friends are upgrading hardware or getting new wheels and stuff like that, it almost like makes you want that. And if nobody's doing it, and maybe you're still kind of following the PC master race kind of thing, and you're watching these people come out and they're like just talking badly so much about the cards, that you're in a spot where you're like, yeah, F that card, I'm not gonna buy that. And so now Nvidia and AMD, mostly Nvidia, is in this like real weird spot where people kind of just hate them. And they've been there before, but not like this. This is like next level hatred for Nvidia. And I understand it. Nvidia is the new terminology all over the internet. And it's true. They are overpricing stuff, and they're trying to ride the coattail of the pandemic. And it's silly, but it's just one of those things where you can kind of identify it. People hate the 40 series, and it's gonna suck sales wise, and there's gonna be a lot of companies that probably are gonna be a little bit afraid to carry newer cards that come out. There'll be less inventory, but there's gonna be an overflow of inventory. And the reason why it is good for us in the long run is if you decide to upgrade like next year or something, who knows, you might see a 4070 for like $400. And at that price, that's a great deal, you know? So I know this video is getting kind of ranty, and so let me wrap it around and bring it back to the beginning. My main point is that there are less people interested right now in hardware because they either already have it or they just kind of fell out of the love for the hobby. And even if it's not falling out of love for it, they come home and they're fine. They're happy with what they have. And I feel like there's just huge numbers of people that are happy with what they have, and upgrading to the 40 series just doesn't make any sense. And I think what's going to happen is this is going to put a dent in the industry for maybe a good reason. We've been talking about for 10 plus years now how the desktop computer's dying, which I don't think it is, to be honest, but I think that you had a peak. It's like a stock, you know? You're way up here, and now you're dropping back, and let's get back to reality, you know? Like, you're not going to have 1,000 people wrapping Micro Center every card release. It's just not going to happen. So anyways, that's it. I guess the whole premise is people are less interested. The 40 series is too expensive. The RAM amount, the VRAM amount is too low. There's just too many factors not to buy it. So hold on to your 30 series or your last gen hardware. And that's going to do it, guys. Until next time. Peace.